I see that the NHL may cancel LGBT Pride Nights as a growing number of players refuse to wear the rainbow gear. And you know what I find incredible? I was speaking about Sheila on this topic a couple of days ago. The sports writing profession, if I can call it that, even when it comes to right-leaning publications, they are all ultra-left. They are all down with the woke agenda. And those players, such as I think we have an image of James Reimer, the San Jose goaltender, used to be a Leaf goaltender, who decided, you know what, due to my beliefs, it's not something I want to wear. They're being vilified. They're being demonized. And the irony, Drea, I find, is that, you know, the LGBT community has long asked for and demonstrated for tolerance and understanding. And yet, when it comes to a player, say, you know, his Christian beliefs don't allow him to don that rainbow flag gear, well, where is their tolerance? Where is their understanding? It seems to be only a one-way street with that community.
Well, this is a small but loud group that is, with apparently a lot of money behind them, like the push to make certain things happen. So it's not all LGBTQ community that want to shove this down the throats of people who are just wanting to enjoy a hockey game. You know, I grew up with 3 brothers, major hockey fans, and it's about the game. And, you know, the NHL or whatever, it's just, everybody is equally allowed to partake and enjoy that, no matter their race, no matter their sexual orientation. Why make it where you have to shove something like this? Plus, there are so many other causes you could stand for. Why is it always the LGBTQ plus community? I just want to read one of the statements from one of the players who is starting to engage in this silent protest and not wearing the uniform that has the LGBTQ rainbow or whatever on it. So this is a statement from goaltender James Reimer from the San Jose Sharks. And the San Jose Sharks actually put this up on their account. And he says, under the umbrella of the NHL's Hockey is for Everyone initiative, the San Jose Sharks have chosen to wear jerseys in support of the LGBTQIA plus community tonight. For all 13 years of my NHL career, I have been a Christian, not just in title, but in how I choose to live my life daily. I have a personal faith in Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for my sins, and in response, asks me to love everyone and follow him. I have no hate in my heart for anyone, and I have always strived to treat everyone that I encounter with respect and kindness. In this specific instance, I am choosing not to endorse something that is counter to my personal convictions, which are based on the Bible, the highest authority in my life. I strongly believe that every person has value and worth, and that the LGBTQIA plus community, like all others, should be welcomed in all aspects of the game of hockey. James Reimer. I mean, I think that's perfectly said. And Christians are not the only religion that this is counter to. So you're right. Where is the inclusivity? And stop the bullying. If some want to wear it, that's fine. But why is there any kerfuffle about those who don't?
You know, Drea, right now with that community, it's no longer about acceptance and tolerance. It's about affirmation. Which is to say, if you don't get up on an Apple box and applaud this community and say, you're great, and I'm all down with drag queen story time, then you are a hater, a bigot, a homophobe, a transphobe, you name it. That's what's really going on here. And like I said, I mean, it's interesting. What I guess the senior sports writer at the Toronto Sun, which does lean right, is Steve Simmons, and his lead item in his Sunday column was about James Reimer, and he said, you know, James Reimer I always considered to be a gentleman. He was a professional, always making himself available for post-game interviews. But this stance on the Pride jersey, this has tarnished his legacy. Oh, really? No. Really, Steve?
Yeah,
I mean,
it hasn't.
You know, again, where is the tolerance for that? And to show you how these sports writers are such hypocrites, that same individual, Simmons, When the Boston Bruins beat your Vancouver Canucks some 10 years ago for the Stanley Cup, Drea, Tim Thomas at the time, he was the Boston goalie. There's a tradition of champion sports teams going to the White House to meet the president, and he was not a Barack Obama fan, so he sat out. And believe me, I think that's wrong. I think if it's a team thing, you should be part of the team. Anyways, Tim Thomas was condemned universally for doing so. But when the Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup and Donald Trump was now in office and their goalie, Holtby, he decided because Trump is big orange hair evil man, he won't be going. He was applauded for taking the stance. Now, guys, either we're all in or all out, but you can't cherry pick a visit to the White House by based on who's in the White House at the time. But that's another part of Steve Simmons' hypocrisy. And again, Drea, the sports writing profession, for whatever reason, I can't really figure it out. It is so woke right now. And on that note, because you alluded to it earlier, why is it that professional sports, maybe the NHL is the worst, along with the NFL. Why is it that Hollywood, why do they have to shove this agenda down our throat? I just want to turn on a game. I just want to go to a movie as a form of escape. I'm dealing with all this crap in my daily job. I don't want to deal with it in terms of entertainment and sports. Yet here it is. Here we are talking about it. Can't they just play hockey and make a movie that isn't politically driven?
Exactly. And if somebody has a strong conviction, this is not something you have to force them to. You shouldn't be forcing them in countries that are supposed to be free and respective of religious values. Now, I want to share a personal story. It's kind of funny. 2 days ago, I recently put my son, he's 6, into martial arts. And 2 days ago, when he was leaving, the instructor said, "You have to bow." And my son, I kid you not, looks at his instructor and says, "I will only bow to the one true God."
Oh,
and, and there was a language barrier, so the instructor didn't understand what he's saying. And he's like, "No, you have to bow." And my son just kept repeating it 2 times out of the mouth of babes. I mean, I could totally see him taking a stance. He's very strong in his convictions for a 6-year-old. And so when I saw this with the NHL, it really reminded me of my son in the sport.
That's a clip from something we call Rebel News Daily. It's our daily live stream hosted by my friend David Menzies, but the show also includes a rotating cast of hosts and special guests, including me. It's a great way for us to talk about the news of the day as the news is happening in an unscripted fashion, and it's an awesome way for you to interact with us as well. We stream every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain, wherever you find Rebel News. See you there.